Акıllı.
Russian Major General Ivan Popov, a hard-nosed paratrooper officer, will take command of a high-risk assault unit in Ukraine in exchange for having criminal charges threatening him with years in prison dropped by state prosecutors, Russian and independent news platforms revealed. A commander popular with Russian troops for tactical skill and speaking his mind, Popov will end more than a year of arrest pending fraud charges to take command of a Storm Z detachment operating in Ukraine, the pro-Kremlin Kommersant magazine reported, citing government security agency sources. First created by Russian army leadership to feed fresh infantry into casualty-heavy battles like urban fighting or assaults on fortifications, Storm Z detachments are made up of soldiers thrown out of their old units, felons inducted into the military, debtors or other civilians facing criminal charges, and rear area troops too poor or lacking sufficient influence to avoid frontline service. The appeal hearing in the Second Western Military Court on charges faced by Popov since May 2024 was canceled, and on Wednesday Popov signed a military contract that, per current Russian law, would end the government case against him, the Kommersant report said. News reports said Popov would serve as a commander rather than a low-ranking fighter in a Storm Z unit. It was not clear from reports both in Russian and Ukrainian media what size Storm Z detachment Popov would take command of or where on the combat line he would deploy. Storm Z detachments deployed to combat in Ukraine typically number between 10 to 500 men. During the defensive battles in Zaporizhzhia, Popov commanded the 58th Combined Arms Army, a full-on major fighting formation estimated by Ukrainian intelligence to number 40 to 50,000 men. Vladimir Rogov, a Kremlin-friendly military writer, commentator, said of Popov's transfer to a combat command and news of charges against him being dropped, "The legendary Spartacus is returning to the front, and it's high time for those responsible for outrages against General Popov to realize that the Russian people, like our national leader, is not a fool. He understands everything and will solve all problems." We highly doubt that. But okay, we would have a lot of videos. A large fire broke at an oil refinery in Komsomolsk-on-Amur, a city in Russia's Khabarovsk Krai, according to local reports. Footage of the blaze was shared that same day on the regional telegram channel Komsogram. The fire reportedly erupted on a processing column nearly 50 meters tall, with flames covering an area of about 300 square meters. Early reports suggest leaking gasoline from a damaged section of the column may have caused the blaze. Residents said they could see towering flames and smoke from the windows of their apartments. "This is terrifying," a man can be heard saying in one of the videos posted online. Public records show the Komsomolsk refinery, operated by RN Komsomolsky Refinery LLC, has a projected annual capacity of 8 million tons of crude oil. It processes East Siberian oil delivered via a branch of the Eastern Siberia Pacific Ocean pipeline. The plant produces gasoline, diesel, kerosene, fuel oil, and petroleum coke. Most of its output is sold in Russia's Far East or exported to countries in the Asia-Pacific region. The Second International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine has released a video showing what it claims is a successful assault on a Russian Special Forces unit, allegedly resulting in multiple casualties and injuries. The footage, published on April 10th, is accompanied by a remix of the Ukrainian band Piryatin's song Arta, performed by the foreign volunteers themselves on the battlefield. According to the Legion, the strike freed up at least a dozen positions in a security detachment praised by Russian propagandists. An additional 4 enemy fighters were reportedly wounded and are unlikely to return to duty. The video does not identify the specific location or timing of the engagement, and its claims have not been officially confirmed by the Ukrainian military or independent sources. The message behind the release is clear. Russia's so-called elite units are not untouchable. The International Legion emphasized that the losses among those involved in Russia's campaign of aggression, particularly members of organizations long associated with war crimes and repression, are both natural and deserved. The International Legion has participated in some of the most challenging operations on the front. Their continued efforts are crucial in Ukraine's ongoing fight for sovereignty and freedom. Russian soldiers executed 4 Ukrainian soldiers who had surrendered. The brutal act was captured by drones, according to Associated Press News, and a statement from Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Georgy Tikhy. The incident occurred in the village of Piatikatki in southern Ukraine. The Ukrainian prisoners under gunpoint exited a destroyed house, raised their hands in surrender, and lay face down in the grass. The situation was recorded by both Ukrainian and Russian drones, which captured the scene from above. Associated Press obtained both videos, which present significantly different versions of what happened next. The video received by AP from European military officials shows Russian soldiers, identifiable by their uniform insignia, raising their weapons and shooting each of the 4 Ukrainian soldiers in the back with such brutality that one man was left without a head. Instead, the video of the Russian drone that the AP posted on pro-Kremlin social media suddenly cuts off with men lying on the ground. Rollo Collins from the Center for Information Resilience, a London-based organization, stated that this is not the only such execution recorded since late 2023. Out of all the executions that we've seen since late 2023, it's one of the clearest cases. This is not a typical combat killing. This is an illegal action, he emphasized. President Trump's decision to delay tariffs for 90 days is linked to Japan's active selling of its U.S. debt holdings, according to Fox Business reporter Charles Gasparino. Yesterday, it was the White House that capitulated due to the bond market. Top financial execs reported that it was Japan, not China, causing yesterday's bond market sell-off, which forced Trump to pause tariffs.
Well, I mean, because of the mixed messaging, how can you doubt them? I mean, let's be clear what happened. Who capitulated here and why? And, I don't want to say this because I'm a patriot. I'm an American. But it is the White House who capitulated based on everything I hear and all my sources. And the reason why is because of the bond market and what happened last night. Bessent knows this better than anybody. When you have yields on the 10-year rising to 5%, stuff starts shutting down when you have the lending markets screwed up. By the way, who was dumping the bonds? Somebody asked them if it was China, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't. It was Japan. While he was negotiating with Japan, according to my sources, who are running major money management firms that are involved in the bond market without giving up names, Japan was dumping bonds because they believed this was not a great place to do business. That forced their hands. Now, what you can say, I think, legitimately here, is Trump decided to take the win. And here's why. There was overwhelmingly, deal potential here among the entire world, except for maybe China, right? Everybody really wanted something. So he did take the win, but make no mistake about it. Peter Navarro was talking as of yesterday about not taking the win, and now they did. And it's all because of the bond market. I want to point out.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.